Stay. I'm working on my research and development outside. Came up with this new tarp. It's a low profile tarp. One-man tarp. It's a little snug for two. And what I did was I used, I guess, an amalgamation of several different designs. I don't know exactly what you call it. It's somewhat of a hybrid between a modified A-frame and a pyramid. I've seen several like this before, I believe, so I can't take credit for inventing it. If somebody knows what it's called, please drop me a line, let me know. I made this out of an older tarp that I've been using for a few years, and what I did is I just did some experimenting and cut it up, cut quite a bit of width out of it, and I added these two wings. If you notice, somewhat like a vestibule. If you notice the the Academy brand No Limits backpacking tent, one person has a setup similar to this, and what that does is that acts as a windbreak for an exterior vestibule for when you're in your tent cooking in inclement conditions. I didn't have anything to attach this line to, so what I did was I had to improvise by putting a pole in there. Backcountry wilderness, I normally have, or I've never had to use a pole like this before, but if you do, that's okay. Just be cognizant that it's there and don't knock it over. Plenty of room on the inside for one person. If you notice, I do use a black tarp because it's completely weather resistant. And there's Bella. Completely weather resistant. Sun doesn't degrade it. I've used this actual tarp here for 18 months, and I just now cut it up. So with a little common sense and some tarp smarts, you can make these things last. Good bit of room, excellent ventilation, very, very low profile for backcountry camping, which is what I like the most. The lower profile, the better. I normally camp in hammocks, but in this case I know of instances where I've been unable to put up a hammock, so I've had to rely on other tarp configurations. That's what I like about tarp camping. Super very flexible with the different type of configurations you can rig a tarp. In this case, like I said, this is not something I would take into the backcountry, although I could get away with it if I added some grommets to these attachment points. But just for today, just to see how it is, I just use duct tape. And believe me, duct tape lasts a lot longer than you would believe. But this is just an experiment in a design that I'm actually going to create in a short while, complete with grommets and correct and specific attachment points. And that way I can use this when I don't hammock camp or when I'm solo backpacking. So I hope this helps you guys out there. I hope you can appreciate such a design. And well, as you can see, the worst has happened. I did pop one of the attachment points, so back to the drawing board. It is a little too tight for me, unfortunately, but I think with minor modifications, the proper attachment of grommets, and maybe 2 more attachment points here in the middle, I should have no problem creating the perfect solo backpacking, low profile tent that I want. Even for a guy as large as myself, it's possible. So, hike light, hike safe, and have fun.